The season is just days away in the national media. They're trending towards Ole Miss all of a sudden, making a statement. So let's bring in Bill Flowers and break it all down.
You are Locked On Ole Miss, your daily podcast on the Ole Miss Rebels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to the Locked On Ole Miss podcast, the most watched Ole Miss podcast around. I am your host, Stephen Willis, a veteran member of the national media with Yahoo Sports and a former Ole Miss staff member as well. On today's show, we bring in Bill Flowers to talk about the buzz that is Ole Miss getting a look nationally and what should we make of the realistic expectations for the young phenom quarterback Austin Simmons. Bill Flowers broke through with Eli Manning's debut. We'll talk about similarities, and we'll talk about the best collection of pass catchers in the Lane Kiffin era with the man that used to catch balls all over the field. We'll explain all of that and more right now on the Locked On Ole Miss podcast. We're free and available on all the podcast apps and on YouTube. Thank you for making Locked On Ole Miss your first listen every day, and a special hello to the everydayers who make this show what it is, and that is the most fun way to follow Ole Miss. This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. Listen, there's analysts all over the place, Bill, where they're talking about Danny Cannell predicted Ole Miss in the playoffs. Greg McElroy labeled Ole Miss as a dark horse national championship contender. There's a lot of turnover on this team. We don't really know what's going to happen. What do you expect to happen against Georgia State?
So, I mean, I've always said I kind of this year I kind of like playing Georgia State as your first team because you have so many new faces, so many different new people on a team that I think it's a good thing that we're doing. So I would see Georgia State being a very much of a scrimmage. I'm sure Georgia State's going to play much better than expected because it's against a potential playoff team. And I expect to see a lot of, I would expect there to be some sense of it's going to take some time in real life to get things going. But Austin Simmons, we saw what he could do against Georgia. This is not a redshirt freshman kid who had one opportunity last year. This is a kid that has been in the system for 3 years, extremely smart. He's played baseball. He's had experience. So you've got a quarterback that potentially could lead the offense to a place where they haven't been in, maybe ever to the playoffs. And so the defense, again, you've got a lot of people that have replaced a lot of people that did well last year. You don't really know what you're going to get nowadays with the transfer portal. I mean, my gosh, you look at it and you're thinking these guys could potentially be a better defense than last year. On paper, that's what it looks like. And we will see. So I would love to see defensively Ole Miss playing to their identity, which is an extremely aggressive, fast-paced defense, creating turnovers. And I would like to see the offense be able to control the ball, be able, whether that be we are intentionally trying to score fast, or we are intentionally trying to milk the clock, or we're trying to just get little chunks. That's what I want to see. I want to see Ole Miss be able to say, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it, be methodical, and get out of the game without any injuries.
Yes, definitely get out of the game without any injuries, because the week 2 game is at Kentucky and then at home against Arkansas. Two out of your 8 SEC games are within the first 3 weeks of the season. Listen, Danny Cannell and Greg McElroy and those guys with their national championship position, what I don't know, gives you ideas about them raising Ole Miss up as the season gets closer? Because I don't think they were that high on them 3 weeks ago, 4
No.
weeks ago.
Well, I don't know about that because I think they know that this is a quarterback-driven league, just like the NFL. You're only as good as your quarterback. And when you look at Austin Simmons and you look what he did against Georgia, you're not talking about a team that was terrible. You're talking about a playoff team, one of the best teams in the country last year.
That Art
And
struggled against whenever he had the same opportunity.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And this kid came in and did exactly what Kiffin's offense is designed to do. Jackson Dart, in my opinion, is going to be a better NFL player than he was a college player. I feel like Austin Simmons fits this offense better than Jackson Dart did. Jackson Dart left one of the second best quarterback that ever played at Ole Miss, only behind Eli Manning. And I'm not saying that Austin Simmons will be better than Jackson Dart. I'm just saying I think offensively in this scheme, he fits it better. And I think he has all the tools. You saw what he did coming in. I think being able to utilize the RPO to the max is what he does best. His brain is a processor that is extremely fast. So he will be able to maximize what Kiffin is wanting to do. And that's what I'm excited about. And I think that's what all the analysts are realizing. And they know that with all the transfers that are coming in, these are guys that are proven entities. These are guys that you can put in, they all did well. I mean, you have Oklahoma State, I think, leading receiver, Penn State, one of Penn State's leading receivers. So you put those in with Kaden Lee with a quarterback that can really understand how to utilize his weapons. You have a good running back system. You have a better offensive line that's now, older. And I feel like they're looking at it as, okay, offensively, if they can just be as, if they can improve from last year, and hence you're looking at that from what the Georgia game, from that one drive with the defense that's a proven entity that's only going to get better with the guys you've brought in and with being in another year of the Pete Golden's system. I think they realized that they were one running back away from the playoffs last year. And now you've got some added elements and a schedule that is playing into their favor. So I think that's why they're high on Ole Miss this year.
When we come back, we will ask Bill Flowers about Austin Simmons and compare it to the debut of Eli Manning, which Bill was a part of. He got to see that up close and personal. We'll talk about all of that when we come back. Listen, man, most people cannot name all of their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you end up leaving money on the table. That is where Monarch Money comes in. It's an all-in-one professional finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or on your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch does all that heavy lifting for you. You can link all of your accounts in minutes, see clear visuals, and get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. When I switched over, I noticed my portfolio was a little bit stretched thin. So I used Monarch Money to kind of diversify, to make it a little bit more balanced. Monarch Money made sure I did not let a financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use the code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com in your browser for a half off of your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONCollege. August 26th is here right now, and today they're having a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just today, FanDuel has given you details on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling the MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown that Super Bowl champion before week one even kicks off, this is your moment. That's kind of music to Locked On Ole Miss podcast ears, because that is kind of what we do. So take a flyer on the MVP race. I'm all about Jaden Daniels putting up massive numbers this year for the Washington Commanders. Crown your champion in August. Maybe the Hard Knocks, but I like Buffalo here. I don't know why, but I do. Or you can parlay division winner dark horses. I guess hello New Orleans or hello Miami. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your future bets right now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. Also, we have an important request. Locked On wants to hear from you. We put together a survey to learn more about our listeners and how to make your favorite podcast even better. This is your chance to tell us what you like, what you don't, and answer questions about our advertising. Go to our lockedonpodcast.com/survey to get started. Everyone who completes a survey will be entered for a chance to win one of 10 $100 Amazon gift cards. Again, that's lockedonpodcast.com/survey. You can find the link down in the show notes down below. Thanks again for helping us out. Also, do us a favor, like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Subscribe to the podcast or whatever audio podcast you're on, and give it a 5-star review. It costs nothing but keeps all of this free. If you want more, join the Insiders program on the subtext link down below. No trolls, 14-day free trial, and the easiest way to cancel. Give it a try. And don't forget to check out a second listen on the network. Nearly every team, college or pro, are right there ready for you. And a special hello to the everydayers who make the show what it is. All right, Bill, Eli Manning famously debuted against Murray State, completed like his first 18 passes in a 45-14 game, 5 touchdowns. It is the gold standard of a hyped quarterback review. He was hyped for 2 years. Everybody knew what was going on. He got on the field and did it.
Yeah.
On the flip side, you were on the field when Michael Spurlock had his debut, and he has struggled against Memphis. What do you see going through Austin Simmons' mind right now, and how do you see this working out? Is it really good, really bad, or somewhere in the middle?
Well, I think what's really unique for Austin is that this is his first time, obviously, taking the helm, and he got his opportunity last year with Georgia. This is the same offense, and you saw him be able to run through like crap through a goose. He took what the defense gave him. He was quick. He took control of the offense. Being able to do that and against Georgia is a huge confidence building for anyone, more or less a quarterback. So the kid's brilliant. We all know that. He showed that he's got the athleticism and he's got the talent. So for him to come off, this is a little bit different than Eli, who was redshirted, who didn't get an opportunity to show what he did.
The West Virginia game.
Well, the West Virginia game. But so Austin has a little bit of a unique situation. It is so like Arch Manning has more of an advantage because he got to play a lot more than Austin Simmons did last year. So Austin really only got one series in reality against one of the best teams in the country. So I don't really look at Austin Simmons as a redshirt freshman. I look at him as a seasoned junior who's been waiting his time, who's mature physically, emotionally, who knows the offense. So this is a little bit different scenario than Eli's, and different from Spurlock as well.
Yeah. What was it like, since you went through both of those debuts, and that's kind of what we look at as the spectrum? What were they like going into that first start for Eli Manning against Murray State?
Listen, Eli, we called him Easy E for a reason. He doesn't show his emotions very much. situation can be Murray State or it can be LSU. It's going to be the same. So Easy E was just Eli. It was no different than us playing against LSU. So the emotions, that's something you really got to ask him in regards to, like, was it really that much of a difference? How was it? I know him personally in regards to, like, that, it was a relief to kind of have that kind of a great game off the bat. But, Eli he was just Easy E, just calm, and everything's going to be, very much, in that realm. Austin Simmons, I think he's going to be much more confident than somebody who's getting the nod for the first time. So again, it's a little bit different. But there's also a difference between being the starter and being the backup. And when you get your opportunity and you have no time to process the magnitude of the situation, which is what Austin Simmons had last year. I mean, there was zero chance to look at it and go, all right, how high am I? Let's look down and see the height. No, he just got thrown in there and said, all right, you swim now or we die. And he just, had to do it. So that's going to be what is intriguing to me to watching Austin Simmons is can he take on that role as you are the starter, the weight's on your shoulders. And I think he will, but he's had a little bit more of experience than most guys do. And I would say the similar situation for the Georgia kid. He came in, he didn't really have any opportunities last year, except for end of the year, that SEC championship game. I see him as somebody that I'm extremely impressed with because he came in and he was just a dog. He was a fighter. I loved that fight in him. I think these are going to be the two guys that you look at and go, okay, they had their one chance last year and they took full advantage of it and they shined. So I expect to see Austin Simmons shine, but there will be more stress on him, with having to take on that role as it's all on my shoulders.
All right, when we come back, we are going to talk to Ole Miss legend Bill Flowers all about this week in the SEC and the wide receiver unit as a whole. But first, I do want to let you know, in our final segment, we're going to check all of that out. So stick around for that next. We'll get Bill's opinions on the SEC Week 1 games as well as the wide receiver room. But first, when opening whistle blows on a new repair, get your crew moving towards the supply house. Order today and see parts on your doorstep tomorrow. Over 280,000 plumbing, HVAC, and electrical items from the most trusted brands in all of the business. Their real-time inventory and honest lead times keep you from punting projects, or while their industry-leading customer service always has your blind side covered, they kind of protect you. You need parts fast for a project? Supply House has next-day delivery. Talk about a game changer. The Part Finder tool and 3D schematics can save you hours on jobs where every detail matters. Their Trademaster perks like priority shipping and dedicated support make the whole process smoother. Join the free Trademaster program today and score serious perks like priority shipping, lower prices, and dedicated support lines. Visit supplyhouse.com to sign up for free and use the promo code SHCollege5, all one word, SHCollege5, for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Real people, real service. So this wide receiver unit for Lane Kiffin is absolutely great, Bill. And it's getting all the hype in the world about what can happen. There's no Trey Harris on this roster, but Deshaun Stribling, like you said, the leading receiver from Oklahoma State. Harrison Wallace, the leading wide receiver from Penn State. You have Kaden Lee, Then you have like Deuce Alexander and Isaiah, I think it's not Stribling. I got it. Hartrung, sorry. On the behind that. And then you have the freshmen behind that wall. There's 8 or 9 deep in this room, Bill.
Yeah. So this is what's, I mean, I think you and I should go on have me on a show and let me just rant on the whole world now, that this whole new world of college football, and where you're going to see these kids. No, I mean, the fact that you have these freshmen that are coming in and that are all world, that are third string, most likely they're not going to be there in next year or in 2 years. So it's wild to see the depth that Ole Miss currently has. But you take these kids that did really well where they were and you bring them to Ole Miss. Theoretically, it's like anything else. Like the NFL, they go out and they get free agents because they can do well. Kiffin knows what they can do, fits their scheme. So theoretically, you've got a great core of receivers that can fit your offense well. So that's going to be the question. How you've got all the ingredients for the cake, but now you got to bake it. And until like Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan to get punched in the face. So the question is how do they, again, Murray State, Georgia State is going to be a scrimmage. It should be a scrimmage. Kentucky now is going to be where you first see, here's what you really have. Here's how they jive. Here's how they work together when they're getting punched in the face. And that's what you're going to see. And that's why I'm so glad that they're not playing 4 or 5 cupcake games, because it's terrible for the team. So I love the fact that they're having to step up and they're having to say, this is who we are early in the season, and move on.
Speaking about who we are early in the season, the SEC has some serious games that they honestly probably are going to lose. This could be a disastrous weekend for the Southeastern Conference. If you look at LSU at Clemson, Baylor hosting Auburn, Texas at Ohio State, there's some very, very losable games, and in some cases expected to be losses.
It's funny what money does to football schedules. You're like, okay, now these players are getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. These TV contracts are getting absolutely ridiculous. There's no more cupcake games going to be going on. It's like the NFL. They are going to want to squeeze every ounce of value that they can get out of these kids. And you're going to see a lot more of these non-conference games be, LSU versus Clemson. You are going to watch, really good games. So, at the end of the year, the cream will rise to the top. And it's going to be exciting to see a lot more really exciting games.
All right, so we are going to close it out with season openers back from your day. What was your favorite season opener? What happened? How, something you could share?
Season opener. Man, let's see. I can't. You should have texted me this one. My brain trying to think about my season openers. Obviously my redshirt freshman year against Murray State. With Eli, and me being able to catch a ball, and got to catch a ball from my buddy David Morris as well, as a freshman. That was exciting. I think the next year we started out with Tulane. No, I think that was. Maybe that was my true freshman year. We started out with Tulane.
You started in 99. That was that 3-0 Memphis game, right?
2000.
Okay.
2000. As a true freshman, I love just watching Deuce. I mean, if I remember it right, I don't think we played him until, maybe I'm mixing these games up, but we didn't play him until the last play of the game because he was injured, and they were like, "Hey, we need you to jump over the top for a touchdown," and that's it. And that's what he did, and he scored. But just watching Deuce was my all-time favorite player at Ole Miss. I mean, this guy was just a beast. So,
see the Jonathan Nichols Vanderbilt game, the 54-yard field goal for the win.
Yeah. It's, it's so hard for me to look back and think about my season openers unless I go back and look at it, man. I mean, the hits to my head, trying to remember that far back, specific, games. But yeah, I mean, I think my redshirt freshman year, coming out, knowing you're going to play, so.
Yeah, the Wednesday or Tuesday before your season opener, what is it like just being a player? It doesn't matter if you're a freshman or whatever. You've hit you've hit each other for a month. You want to hit somebody else.
Exactly. You're just so excited to be able to play against somebody else. It's emotionally exhausting. You're just like, come on. I just want to play a game, put into motion what we're doing, and just get the season started. It's like one of the worst parts about a game is having to sit in the tunnel, just waiting there to come out before the game. Well, same thing. You just want to hit somebody else and start the season.
All right. Ole Miss legend Bill Flowers. What do you got going on this weekend, buddy?
This weekend we got kids activities. That's what happens when you're in your 40s and you've got 3 kids, playing golf, playing football, flag football, dance.
Wait, you're still running around playing flag football?
No, not me.
Oh, okay. I was just saying that's a hamstring ready to tear there.
Yeah. I went to go chase my dog the other day, and I about popped it. But I will say this: I went out and had to do some hurdling lessons for some people, and I was surprised. I was able to go over 3 hurdles without popping a hamstring. But disclaimer, they were on the lowest length, height.
Yeah. They weren't high hurdles. They were just normal hurdles.
Hey, but anyway, hey, you know what? Let's see how many mid 40-year-olds can 3-step low hurdles without popping hamstrings or Achilles.
Seriously, just thinking about it makes mine want to explode. So
anyway, I was praying to the Lord, like, help me not blow a hamstring or Achilles.
Yeah, it's like, do not do this. My wife will kill me if I get hurt doing something like this. So anyway, thank you so much, Bill, for stopping by. We'll talk to you next week, buddy.
All right, buddy. Have a good one. Hi, Toddy.
Hotty toddy. Bill Flowers from Ole Miss legend popping by. Thank you for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your go-to source for Ole Miss sports. We pride ourselves on offering the most comprehensive perspectives, which is why we're the front door of Ole Miss. If you don't believe me, check out Google and search Ole Miss podcast and see how much we come up. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. It helps the show, and it's completely free. Your support means the world to us. Another big moment for Locked On. College football fans, Locked On and Fire TV are going to present College Football Kickoff, your ultimate college football weekly preview. Drake Toll from Locked On Big 12, he's awesome, by the way, leads a conversation alongside 2-time AP Coach of the Year, Gary Patterson, who followed me on Twitter the other day that I found out, former college star Jesse Holley, and, of course, Locked On's local experts, moi, and a college football preview show only Locked On can do. Catch College Football Kickoff every Thursday throughout the season, only on Fire TV. Check that out. So hotty toddy, everybody. Remember, analytics is just the old English word that means bad football. We'll see you tomorrow.